Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the... We've done it 2 weeks in a row now, haven't we? We're on it.
I haven't. This is the third week. You were here last week. I wasn't.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I was a bit lost by myself, actually.
Oh.
Anyway, welcome, everybody. As always, if you are watching, I can see thousands of people on the screen there watching. You can tell how many people are there. Pop up and say hello. Put your comments on the... Let's just put our little window on so we can see what's comments. You put your comments and questions on the screen in the eBay or eBay. Oh God, Facebook. It's been a manic day today. Facebook or YouTube. It'll pop up on our screen, and we'll go through. So keep them nice. Keep them nice. We've been all right so far, haven't we? We haven't had anyone.
They're all nice.
They're all nice. Yeah. Okay. So what we're doing some news, a little bit of news. What's been going on over the weekend? I've got some Q&A, got a few questions have been sent in to us, so we'll cover those and then whatever else pops up along the way. So short and sweet. Right, so let's have a look at what we've got in the community. Now, in terms of the community, what you've got to do is you've got to tell us what you've been doing over the weekend, because there's thousands of races all around the planet. And hi, Pat. And we can't go checking the results for everybody, so we need to just go in and have a look. If you've got to tell us about the results, and we can look at them on the screen, within the community. We'll put a post out saying who's done what, and we can go through those. It's much easier for us. So the first one, Paul. Is that Sayer? Why do I think it's Sawyer? It's not Sawyer. Sayer.
I think so. Correct us if we're wrong, Paul.
Actually, I'm not sure if you should read this one out because it's not really... Paul's been doing 3 days. I should have read this before I started. 3 days of dining, drinking, dancing, and general debauchery for the Jubilee. It's fairly epic. Well done, Paul. Well done to you. But he did get on the turbo, he said. So well done for that. We're setting quite a low bar for the achievements this weekend, aren't we?
I think quite a lot of people spent the weekend partying and had a bit of a post-weekend come down on Monday. Not because of racing, but because of all the street parties like you were at.
Yeah. It was quite good, the street party, actually. It was quite good. Got to meet a load of neighbours I've never seen before, which is always interesting. Ash. Is that how you pronounce Ash? Is that how you spell Ash? Or is that a special way of... Sarah Jane, why is Ash spelled A-H-S-H?
When she was younger, her dad used to nickname her Ash, which is H in French.
Oh, so it is Ash then?
It is Ash.
It's Ash Frampton.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Ticked off a Wainwright, one of the Wainwright walks. Sadly didn't manage to fit in an open water swim while up there, but definitely will next time. A nice picture, Ash.
I think there are quite a few people up in the lakes for the half term and long weekend, so a few epic climbs and walks going on.
I don't know a huge amount about the Wainwright walks. Are they all in the lakes?
I think so. I'm not sure. Do you know, Sarah Jane?
They're not in the Dales or something like that.
They might be all over the place.
Maybe it wasn't. I made an assumption it was the lakes, but I don't think it's the lakes. I think it's somewhere else. Maybe Ash, if you're watching, you'll have to let us know. Do you want to do the next one, Corinne?
Clodie's been running long races again.
What a surprise.
She's been off on her travels though, parkrun. She's been in doing parkrun in Stockholm on Saturday, and then just did a little marathon on parkrun on Saturday and the marathon on Sunday, which was very hot. But yeah, needless to say, more than one race at the weekend. Although parkrun's not a race, strictly speaking, but yeah. Clodie never just does one run on a weekend.
Does Clodie literally do a marathon every weekend? Pretty much. At least,
I think. Well done, Clodie.
Clodie, you must be a member of the marathon, because there's a 100 marathon club, isn't there? You've got to be in that. Stockholm Marathon, yeah. We've spoken about Clodie before. Slightly bonkers, but
bonkers in a good way.
Bonkers, yes, it's a good thing being bonkers. Yeah, absolutely. Was that you, Sarah Jane?
Yes, sorry.
How did you make that do that?
Sorry.
It's kind of thrown me a bit, that has. Who have we got next? Carl Turley, Graphman. Right, Carl. Carl says he had a nightmare. Bike shortened to 45k because of the weather. It was grim, the weather on Sunday, wasn't it? We spent 3 hours stood by us. Was it Sunday we did that? 3 hours stood by a soaking wet lake. So 45k because of the weather. Then punctured with 10k left on the bike. Oh dear. Too bad for a quick repair. Got too cold in the pouring rain. Had my foot. Oh, DNF. I definitely should have read that ahead, Carl. Sorry to hear that, Carl. DNF'd.
I think by the sound of it, the weather was bad with us, but I think over where Carl was racing at Graffman, the weather was even worse because I think there were quite a few DNSs, let alone your DNF, Carl. So all credit to you for giving it a go, because there were several people who went home without even starting for that race. So I think the weather conditions were atrocious there. So good effort. Yep. Sorry you didn't manage to finish.
Next time. What you got next, Carl? Do we know what Carl's got next?
No.
No?
Okay.
Don't. I thought you'd doing an Ironman or something.
I think he's got at least a middle distance.
Yeah.
I think.
You'll have to let us know what you're doing then, Carl. But good luck with the next one anyway. Who's popped up? So we've got Pat watching. Hi, Pat. Ben. Hi, coaches. Hi, Ben. What have you been up to at the weekend, Ben? You're always doing interesting things as well, so let us know what you're up to. Anyone else that's watching? Got quite a few watching. So again, pop up and say hello. Tell us what you've been up to and ask us any questions that you may have. What are you pointing at, Pat?
Pat. So Pat's done a Clody this weekend. Just a 31-mile run on Sunday. Last one before race to the tower. So well done, Pat. That's an impressive race. Well done.
It must be contagious.
You didn't mention
that.
Yeah. Didn't mention that today when I saw you at swimming. So you seem to be recovering pretty well. So well done.
Yeah. Pat and Claudia kind of smashing the running miles, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Well done, guys. 31 miles. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Impressive, but crazy. Claire Boswell did a 2-hour swim for fun on Sunday morning. Half listening to you and half listening to a very dull work. Maybe I shouldn't read that out, Claire. Sorry. She's half listening to us and half listening to a very dull work call. Well, I'm glad you managed to give us one of your ears. 2 hours swim, Claire. Well, that's you're like the swimming version of Clody and Pat, aren't you? Because you just do stuff like that all the time. But yeah, well done for that, Claire, and also well done for coming in and doing an interview with us last week, which everyone would be able to hear. It's really, really good interview, Claire. So thank you very much for that. Ben, just tapering before the British Champs next weekend. Who else is doing the British Champs that we know?
Well, I don't think we've got any more results. Oh, yes, we've got a couple more results from this weekend, but I think we'll talk about the British Champs in a minute. The only other races that we can mention that we know about is Cotswold 113 on Sunday.
Yep.
Had a couple of people racing there. We had Lisa Parry, who did very well, came third in her age group.
Nice.
So well done, Lisa. Lisa's on fire at the moment. She's racing really well. So well done, Lisa. And we also had Hannah racing at 113. Ooh, nearly.
I thought you lost your train of thought then.
Yeah, so Hannah was at 113 as well. So well done, Hannah and Lisa. Great results there.
Yeah, really good. Really good. So what's happening this weekend
So
then?
this weekend is quite a big one for races. So last weekend was quite quiet, but this weekend we have the British Championships in Leeds, British Standard Distance Championships. And we've got quite a few people racing. There's at least half a dozen, including Ben, who will be up there. So we'll try and get everyone together for a photo. So that should be a good event. It's also Ironman 70.3 Staffordshire.
Mary's up there.
So Mary's there, yep. And also Kate, who does the massage therapy, is also there doing a relay. We've got Diva Standard Distance Triathlon, which is another qualifier for, is it the Europeans next year, I think. Windsor Triathlon, we've got Tour of Cambridge. I'm sure there's another one this weekend. But,
there's lots of things happening there.
Lots of things happening this weekend. I think quite a few were postponed from the weekend just gone because of the Jubilee. So a lot of races reorganised for next weekend. So James is at Diva on Sunday.
Oh, excellent.
So good luck there, James.
Great. I do feel like the races are, after the last couple of years of COVID and all the rubbish that's gone with COVID and lockdowns and all that kind of stuff, I do feel that the wheels are turning again now. I feel like we're getting getting the sport back a little bit, and I hope you guys feel that too, because I've kind of picked up on the coaching side and generally through work and things that people have lost their mojo a little bit, but it seems to be turning around now, and people seem to be getting stuck back into the races, which is really good.
I think people certainly did lose their mojo a little bit, but now people have started to race again and remembered how much they get out of it, and doing maybe better than they thought they were going to do after a long break. So I think people are starting to book more races, and things are starting to get moving again. So hopefully the racing will start picking up, and we'll get more people back involved again.
Yeah, and the race entries for On the Edge and the Compton Sprint Try are coming in nicely. So it's looking like it's going to be a decent turnout there. So if you haven't entered, then hurry up and get your entry in for those races. So it's all starting. I do feel like the wheel's starting to turn again now, which is really good. Again, anyone watching, got any questions or anything, just fire those in and we'll try and tidy those up. But we've got a question from Sarah Chandler. Got a front crawl. Oh, blimey, I was about to put my teeth in today. Front crawl question. I've always swum thinking that it's my arms that do most of the work and that the chest stays horizontal to the water surface. Okay, so you mean flat, Sarah, do you? What do I need to think about to get my body to rotate? Okay, so you feel like, kind of reading between the lines here is a little bit, Sarah, unless you think otherwise. Are you saying that you feel like you sit flat in the water and your body is not moving, your arms are just kind of moving around the side of your flat body almost, and you want to know what you need to do to rotate a little bit more? Well, first of all, in terms of rotating, different people rotate different amounts when they're swimming. Some people, it works better for them to swim to rotate a little bit more than others. But generally, you're kind of looking at kind of 45 to 60 degrees, and that's a bit of a kind of, to put a percentage, a degree of measurement on it is a bit extreme. But you kind of, just to give you an idea about how far, more than 45 degrees is kind of fairly standard, and that will allow you to get nice clearance over the water and actually have a nice hand entry. We do have at the squad sessions, and Sarah. Where does Sarah swim?
Sarah swims at Solihull.
Right.
I had a chat to Sarah this morning about rotation, so I think this is part of the reason the question has come up.
Yeah.
So we talked, what you were about to talk about, I think, was the TikTok, which is a little device. It's like a tube. It's about 6 inches long, I suppose. It's got a ball bearing inside and a waist belt. So you put it around your waist with the tube on your back, and the ball bearing, as you rotate, clicks from side to side. It rolls obviously down, up and down, and you can hear it as you're swimming. And if you don't hear it tick, then you're not rotating. It's that tells you that you're not rotating enough. So we have got a TikTok. I'm not sure what it's officially called. But
I don't know if it's called a TikTok.
No, I don't know what it's called.
From somewhere
but anyway, we have one, and I said to Sarah I would take it along because it's a really good way. We used it in some of the development sessions to help people who were fairly sort of new to front crawl feel how much they need to rotate as they're swimming. As Dave mentioned, rotating helps you sort of clear the water, get a bit more height on the arm, but it also sort of uses your whole body to drive the stroke. I know Sarah was getting a little bit of shoulder pain. She was swimming quite flat in the water, and so all the movement to clear the water was coming from the shoulder, and all the strength in the catch is also coming from the shoulder. By rotating, you get we often talk about bowlers in cricket or discus throwers. If you're rotating the body and using the whole body to drive the stroke, you get a lot more power into it, and then that carries through into the catch and the push through. So rotating is really useful for sort of engaging the bigger muscles rather than just sort of putting a lot of pressure on the fairly complicated and weak joint, which is the shoulders.
I think sometimes as well, if you're not rotating quite enough, what can happen is you can enter the water quite shallow at the front of the stroke and have a tendency to push down a little bit. If you're coming from a slightly higher angle, you can have a little bit more of a slightly deeper hand entry at the front of the stroke, which allows you to get over the top of the catch a little bit more, because you really don't want to be pushing straight down and pushing water down. You want to be pushing water back behind you. Sometimes it's worth, when you're thinking about things like this, to almost kind of to see what it feels like. It's good to exaggerate what you're trying to do. So sometimes doing things like kicking on the side drill and 6-1-6 drill and things like that, where you spend some time completely on your side at 90 degrees to where you would normally, 90 degrees to being flat in the water. And then you kind of know when you're swimming normally that you kind of should be in between there somewhere. So sometimes it's good to go too far to know what it's like to feel in the right place. It's kind of an awkward way of kind of trying to explain it, but I hope you kind of understand what I mean. Sometimes you need to go a little bit further, or kind of an extreme end. Sometimes we do kind of negative drills to kind of prove points, and it's a similar thing to that. So going a little bit too far and then tweaking it back and just seeing what feels right and experimenting. Get a coach to have a look at you as well is a good thing to do.
I think Sarah's got a one-to-one video analysis
good.
at the end of the month possibly, but also talked about the quickfire video analysis as well. So if people want to film themselves or get someone to film them, a bit difficult to film yourself when you're swimming, but can't really do a selfie video. Get someone to film you, and then we can have a look at that as well.
Yeah, the video analysis are really powerful. If you've not had a video analysis done, then they're really good, because it's a real eye opener for you to see what you actually look like in the water. Especially if you're talking about rotation of things, we can do a front on view with you swimming towards the camera, and you can see what kind of angle your body is hitting on the rotation in the water. So really, really good. Yeah, I mean, get those video analysis. Get the video clips recorded, even if it's just a half a length or a length by the side of the pool with a phone. We can tell you quite a lot from just seeing that. I mean, we spend so much time poolside that within half a length or something, we can generally tell the main issues. You just get a feel for it, being experienced as we are, standing by the pool looking at thousands of swimmers on an annual basis. So yeah. Okay. Is there anything else that you know? Okay, all right.
Don't think so.
Okay, so nothing else from anybody else. We need to get a few more questions coming in, don't we? But anyway, we've got anything else to cover that you can think of?
No, not from me.
No? All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Again, if you've got any questions at all, and you're watching this after it's finished, then put them down below, and they'll pop up and they'll find their way through to us, and we'll endeavour to answer those probably on the next time we do this, which will hopefully be next Tuesday, all things being good. But all right, well, thanks for watching, and goodbye.
If you're racing next weekend, have a good race.
Yeah, have a good race, everybody, and goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Take care. Bye-bye.